Hey everybody, Michael, Soothing here. I thought what I would do tonight is maybe eat some of these organic pistachios and read the local paper a little bit. And if you don't mind me chewing while we read, then that will work just fine. So let's see if I can quietly open these. Crinkling sounds so much louder when I listen to the videos later than the way it sounds to my ear when I'm opening stuff like this. So I'll try to keep it down. There we go. Got it open without too much racket. I got my little plate here to spit the shells onto, right? Try to keep this down too. Some pistachios on the plate. Meets the highest standards. No GMOs, no preservatives or additives. Where do these come from? They don't have much fat, which is good. Not much sugar either. It says here 2 grams per serving. 160 milligrams of sodium. They're salted, of course. Let's see if we can find out any other interesting facts here before we look at the paper, right? Doesn't it feel good to know where your food comes from? Well, that depends on what you're eating. If you're having a hamburger or some sausage, it might not feel so good to know exactly how it's made. Okay? And by the way, I like both. Just don't show me how it's made. You vegans out there are snickering at me now, going, yeah, we could tell you some horror stories, buddy. Okay, anyway, so organic California pistachio. Oh, so they're grown right here in my home state, which figures because we grow a lot of the produce for most of the country. I think that's about all we're going to find on here. As long as it doesn't say made in China. It says to use them by November 18th, 2016. So that's more than a year away. So I think they're still fresh enough. Let's see, 170 calories. And 1 ounce of shelled pistachio. All right. So some people would do this with their teeth, you know. But I'm just going to shell them. Actually, some of them you do have to shell with your teeth because they're not split open all the way, even though they're roasted. So, find out what's going on. Press banner, San Lorenzo Valley. River faces water quality issues. San Lorenzo River. I used to catch steelhead trout in that river when I was a teenager. But that was before it was polluted, and that was when there was actually a river there instead of a trickle, okay? It says there's warm days ahead still. It's still about 80 degrees here, you know, even though it's the end of October. Cyanobacteria have been found in the lagoon of the San Lorenzo River. This algae, is it algae or algae? I've heard scientists say it both ways. We'll say algae this time. This type of algae can be toxic for pets as well as humans, causing a range of health issues and even death. I hate it when I eat algae that causes me to die. I don't like it when that happens. So I don't think I'll be drinking the water out of this lagoon. Let's see. This is primarily salt and brackish water, algae, blah, blah, blah. Advisories, something on WebMD. An infection can take hold when you have ingested tainted water. The bacteria can even spread from one person to another. So be careful about kissing that person who was just slurping in some of the San Lorenzo River water, okay? I would be very cautious in that case. Let's see. Swimming in the river would be a risky proposition for this time of year. Well, it would also be an impossible proposition because the water's about that deep. You'll have to excuse the bird over here. She likes to chime in. I think what she's really asking for is whether she can chew on some of these big seeds. She thinks these are big seeds, because they look like a giant bird seed, don't they? And I think they're shelled in kind of the same way. So hopefully you don't mind a little chiming in from the bird. What else is going on? Demolition at Brookdale Lodge. See, they've been trying to fix this place up and use it. Big hotel restaurant that has a stream running through the middle of the dining room and trees growing right up in the middle, redwood trees, right up in the middle of the dining room to the outside world. But no one can ever make money on it. In the last 40 years I've been watching them try, so I think someone started a fire, probably on purpose. I haven't gotten too many of these done yet. They're very good. I like salt. I like it too much. Not everybody gets high blood pressure from it, That's a myth. Only about 20% of the population will be sensitive to salt. What's in the news briefs? Water supply advisory, still all about the drought, right? Sister Cities Committee offers a chance for teams to represent Santa Cruz. Who is our sister city? Shingu, Japan. Never heard of them. And who picks the sister cities anyway? And if I went to the sister city and had a romantic liaison there, would that be incestuous? Or is that like really an off-the-wall comment? That really was off-the-wall. But see, it's because I worked today, and so my brain is very tired. So instead of that, let's check the pet of the week. A guy named Angel. Or is it a girl? Oh, it's a girl named Angel. She is what kind of dog is that? Pit Bull Terrier. See? Angel the Pit Bull Terrier. She needs a home. And so someone will adopt her because she's in the paper. I think the dogs that are in the paper get probably 20 times as many people wanting to adopt them. How about the police dispatch law, right? Let's see what naughty things people have been up to around here while we eat our pistachios. Granite Creek, a 60-year-old male displayed a false registration with intent to commit a crime. I have no idea what that means. At Civic Center, controlled substance, okay. At Felton Fair, that's a shopping center right by where I used to live. 21-year-old male arrested for inflicting corporal injury to a spouse or cohabitant. Well, which one was it? It says it was a spouse or a cohabitant. Anyway, if someone does spousal abuse, they should put them away for a long, long, long time. Some of you know I did a lot of videos on murder trial, Jodi Arias. Okay. At Highway 17, that's the highway I commute on each day, unfortunately. A 47-year-old male was arrested on a warrant for a misdemeanor. They don't say what. Here's one. 47-year-old female arrested on a warrant. That's not very interesting. Let's see. Controlled substance without a prescription, paraphernalia, driving with a suspended license, DUI, and false vehicle registration. That's quite a few charges for one person. I'd say that guy has a little bit of trouble following the rules, wouldn't you? On Whispering Pines Drive and Pinecone, ooh, that's where my ex-in-laws used to live, but still do. A 36-year-old male was arrested for driving with a suspended registration and refusing a chemical test. Misdemeanor, narcotic. This is getting boring. It's all the same stuff. Wait, here's someone, a citizen, turned in a shotgun for destruction. Doesn't say who, but that was some wife that was mad at her husband and said, "I'll show you, buddy. I'll turn your guns in to the PD and let them destroy those things." Let's see. Subject, intoxicated, tried to attack his father and made suicidal statements. All right, that's enough of all that. Listen to this one. Just when I was getting bored, too. On the 500 block of Felton, Marion, a victim allowed access to his computer in India. Computer fraud, $350 charged to his account. Now that doesn't make much sense. How does a guy in Felton, California allow access to his computer in India? I think what they meant to say was he allowed someone from India to access his computer remotely, like, we're going to get rid of your viruses or something. And instead they stole his identity. All right, the ill effects of mouth breathing. Look at this. You think I'm making this up, but there it is, the ill effects of mouth breathing. So if you know, like, some troglodyte, knuckle-dragging mouth breathers, you can tell them that mouth breathing results in increased cavities and gum disease, increased severity of snoring and obstructive sleep apnea, breath problems, and all kinds of other things that I won't go into because I don't want to get too disgusted, if you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, look. The Texas Hold'em fundraising tournament. I gotta play this. I'm a Texas Hold'em player. There it is right there. I'm gonna go play. When I get this on the screen, Texas Hold'em fundraiser. I am going to go play that tournament. When is it? Saturday, October 24th. Perfect. Where is it? First place gets a 55-inch flat screen TV. Felton Community Hall. Ooh. Entry fee is $100. But first 50 sign-ups only pay $75. What a bargain. Top 10 final table receive a prize. I wonder what the 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th prizes are. It might be worth a try if they're not too bogus. See what the charity is. Proceeds go to the San Lorenzo Valley High School Athletics. That was my high school. And so I think maybe I can convince myself to rationalize this as a great contribution to my high school alma mater, when really what I want to do is go play poker, right? So, professional dealers. I have a video where I talked about poker a little bit, if you go hunt in my archive. Gave you a few tips, but someday I'm going to do an online tournament and show you the highlights, like a one-table tournament, See if we can do some strategy tips while I play and explain what's going on. Snipe hunt. Snipes that's like there's no such thing as a snipe, see? It's a come on. If you've ever been on a snipe hunt, the corner of your mouth might be turning up, as you recall having the snipe hunt prank pulled on you, right? So, you might be surprised to learn that according to the Department of Fish and Wildlife, snipe season opens on October 17th. Snipe hunting is a great pastime for hunters up for a challenge. And they go on to talk about the bird is tasty for your dinner table, but they're smaller than a quail, so it might take a lot of them to make up a meal. Be sure to go equipped, if you go on a snipe hunt, with something to fend off the jokes that will inevitably follow you. No such thing as snipe. All right, any pumpkins for sale for Halloween here? I don't see any. Here's an ad for Taekwondo. How come I didn't want to say the W? Naomi Lyle is thankful. What is she thankful for? Something about her teaching in her high school class. National Merit Scholarships. They're all thrilled. Cool, look. We got our scholarship check. What did they do to get it? That's for the principal, Katie Maxwell, and Sage Pell. Commended students. What were they commended for? Key role in their school play, and a few other things. Interesting. I didn't know they gave out scholarships for that. Key role in the school play thing. I'd have gone into drama when I was in high school. If I'd have known that, I'm a very, very shy person. Don't like to get in front of anyone. I'm forced to in my job, give presentations and teach courses in rocket science at companies I visit. And I never like getting in front of people. They say I do all right, but I always feel self-conscious. Here I am talking to all you people, but you see, I don't feel self-conscious about this because, number one, I'm relaxed, and number two, I know my subscribers aren't judging me and they like my videos. And number three, when I do this video, I feel like I'm talking to you one-on-one. So even if a couple hundred people watch, I still feel like I'm talking to you one-on-one. And that's how I'm able to do them. Because I don't have a problem with that. But here's what I have to crack. I just saw someone else do nut cracking that way. So I thought I'd try it. Only that person was way better at it. So I'm going to have to just keep showing them like this, with my fingers, see? I can't get that one out. Oh, I only got half of it. We don't want to waste half. That would be a crying shame. Have you ever dropped like a nut on the floor and thrown it away and then said, that's way too sad for that nut to be alone for all eternity. So now I have to throw another one in there with it so that it won't be lonely. Of course, I didn't make that up, as you are very well aware. I heard a girl say that one time. She said, a very cute girl, said, if I drop a pencil on the floor, I have to drop another one so that it won't be lonely. All right. Color in the garden. Oh, our local fishing guy can't talk fishing. He has an article every week. This guy Baxter. But he's talking about Alaska because we don't hardly have any fishing around here. If you have the desire to see Alaska, let's see, he says to go where? World-class steelhead river fishing, coho salmon, yucatat. That comes from the native Tlingit tribe's dialect, meaning resting place for canoes. That tribe is very interesting. We looked at a lot of their artifacts and culture when we were up there. Places like Haines, Alaska. Floating the Situk River by drift boat, full of pink salmon and silver salmon around every bend. Wow, that sounds great. Date book. Ghostbusters. See, they're showing classic movies at outdoor movie night up in Boulder Creek. Annual lobster feed. That sounds pretty good. Is it Maine? Yep, Maine lobster. And the secret affairs of Mildred Wild. Mildred was my grandmother's name. My late dad's mother was named Mildred. She lived to be 96 or something like that, quite a long, and she was lucid right up to the end. I worry about dementia and Alzheimer's because of short-term memory problems that I have. But what was I just talking about? Anyway, my grandmother lived about 96, and so she didn't have big issues, and so maybe I'll be okay. Real estate counseling course. Here's a mobile home for sale, a trailer for $500,000. Okay? That's the kind of real estate market we have, all right? Maybe next time, instead of the local paper, I better cover up my name and address here. Maybe we'll do Car and Driver. Talk about this hot Shelby Mustang. Oh no, it's a GT350. But there's a lot of interesting car stories. I haven't read this one yet. Kind of a car buff, performance cars. Don't really have one right now. I used to. Maybe when I'm retired, I'll get, I think one of my favorite cars, my first real car, was a 1965 Chevy Chevelle Malibu Super Sport, and V8 engine, of course, and I loved that car. Oh my gosh. It never ran right, but I still loved it. You could never get the carburetor and stuff quite right back then. The pistons were always missing somehow. It's like the plug wires would misfire if they weren't perfect, and the points had to be adjusted all the time on the timing, and stuff like that. Carbon, on the, it was always something. Cars today, actually, much easier to deal with. Back then, you had to fix your car every other day. And they only ran about maybe 80 or 100,000 miles before they were dead. Now I've got a Honda that has just shy of 200,000 miles on it. And that car is running just as good as the day I bought it. Never a single major thing go wrong. There's tires, brake pads, normal stuff. And cars today are actually much better. But they're not as stylish, as those good old classic era cars. Does every car look the same to you on the road these days? Because they do to me. Here's one that requires the special technique. I blew it. Shells. I don't know how to do that. I saw someone who did that really well. Anyway, I just thought we'd do that tonight, ramble a little bit. I made you some videos while I was in Oregon. And when I get a chance, I'll edit them and upload them. But I'm trying to catch up on my work. Look, the key to my heart, right there. There's a story behind this, but I don't want to tell you what the story is. It would require too much information. Do you ever get fascinated with simple little mechanisms like, that's pretty cool? That would be the Aspie in me, right? The Asperger's. That's why I'm in rocket science. Instead of being, a doctor. All right. I appreciated those pistachios. And I hope this will be a little bit relaxing for you. Until next time, don't ASMR and drive. Take care, everybody.